Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and this is probably the last viewer request I'll do for tonight, or today, whenever you're watching. And more will be coming soon. But this is for I Live Again 1, the 2004 Punisher film. Now, this is a film that kind of split with fans, but I can safely say I love this film. I enjoy this film a lot. You have Thomas Jane as Frank Castle, and guy director was Jonathan Hensleigh, and this guy, he's been a writer for a while. I think he helped write The Saint, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Apparently he worked a little bit on the script for Con Air and The Rock and Armageddon and that Nicolas Cage film Next. And most of those films I actually do enjoy. But I enjoy this film a lot. It gets shit on a lot. Some I can understand, but for the most part, I still really love this film. I'll get to why. I mean, the story, fairly basic. Thomas Jane, basically, he's, of course, Frank Castle. No, he's not a Marine, because it's 2004. It's not like he can go back to Vietnam. But instead, he was a soldier way back in the day, but now he's with the FBI, and there's a sting operation, and during it something goes a little bit off and someone's killed. He's supposedly killed off, but he's actually wearing a bulletproof vest, and basically he's going to retire from the FBI, and he goes off away to his family. In fact, not only is it just his family, like his wife and kid, but like everybody in his family, including his father, played by Roy Scheider, who is very greatly missed. And one of the people killed during that operation was John Travolta's son, who is our main bad guy. And his subordinate is Will Patton. Will Patton you've seen in a bunch of films, including Armageddon. He was in Armageddon, among other stuff. And especially John Travolta's wife, who says, just kill them all, everybody. And basically a bunch of hitmen go to where everybody, all the Castle family's there, and they massacre all of them, massacre everybody. And this is one thing I think this film does the best. I mean, to be honest, if I had to pick a favorite Punisher film, it's the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. I grew up with that film. It has the most action, balls to the wall. I really love Dolph Lundgren, Louis Gossett Jr. in it. I really love the score to that film. Just the most balls to the wall action and fun. And the only problem people can come up with is he doesn't have the skull. Yes, I know. It's not like Dolph Lundgren said, fuck the skull. Okay? They always shift and blame on why there's no skull. Some director is shitty looking or it's too cheesy. Some others will say, well, they didn't have enough property because they want to do a bigger budget film and we'll use the skull. Nah, they keep shifting blame. They're full of shit. But Dolph Lundgren's Punisher is my favorite. But I still enjoy this film because I think it does the best in establishing the beginning of the Punisher, meaning how he became the Punisher was very effective because, again, they tell everybody to kill his father, Roy Scheider. You have this scene where he's running and finds his wife and kid dead and hugs them and looks, and he's shooting them with the shotgun. Before that, he takes a few out with the shotgun, shoots a fucking canister, boom! And then they fuck him up and they shoot him and they light it up. And it gets blown up and he's crawling away and gets blown out into the water. He crawls out and he finds this shirt that his son had. That's actually, it's the Punisher's skull. And then one guy's, go with God. Vai con Dios, go with God, Frank. God's going to sit this one out. And you're like, yes, badass. So establishing that, very well done. It really makes you root for the character. And I'm a big fan of Thomas Jane as an actor. I think it was bullshit. He got kicked out of a bullet to the head or brain or bullet to the head. Fuck you, Joel Fat Ass Silver. I'm a fan of Thomas Jane. I love him in Deep Blue Sea. Uh, he gave a good performance in The Mist. He was awesome in this film. I wish they could have gone back. I'll talk about that. But Thomas Jane is another reason why I really enjoy this film. He was fucking Frank Castle. He did an excellent job. And they got the look of him right. That's Frank Castle. The Punisher. Oh, it doesn't look like him. Really? That doesn't look like the Punisher? Bullshit. And the guy can act. I mean, you have a good opening where a good establishment of what happened with his family. Yes, I know it takes place in Miami and not in fucking New York. Well, if they did the sequel like Thomas Jane wanted, it would have been in fucking New York. But studio, you blame studio for that. And they had a pretty small budget for this film. Which I guess is why a $15.5 million budget, which to me is a lot, but $15.5 million for a big Marvel studio? Like, how much money did they give to fucking Elektra? In fact, I want to find this out. I want to see how much money they gave to that piece of shit for a fucking movie. I want to see how much money they gave to Elektra. 43 million bucks. You fucking serious? You fucking kidding me, man? You fucking kidding me? No wonder it barely had any action. But when the action kicks in, it's really well done. Kind of an old school way. Old school stuff, no CGI and shit. You don't have the Punisher, like Punisher Warzone upside down, like the ballerina going, oh, I'm upside down, and like a fucking ballerina. No, he's doing a paper cutter and slamming right against someone's head. And basically he fucks with their head. This I did not like, I will admit. The fucking taking the fucking fire hydrant and putting it right here and there. Granted, a part of me was like, more Bane, less go to fucking with my mind. I mean, I understand the approach because they didn't have the biggest budget. But it is one of those things that you crave a little bit more action, but then that's where a sequel comes in. You got the origin out of the way. People seem to like it. Now give it a little bit more money so you get more bang for your buck. You gave fucking Elektra $43 million and you gave this film $15 million. 15? Shitty ass movie, 43. And that movie, this has felt like it had more action than that movie. But you gave that piece of shit 43 million and this 15 million. Fuck me. All these other action movies, I get 40, $50 million budgets. No, you can't give it a Punisher. Gee, who's heard of the Punisher? Duh. But, I mean, I do like some of the mind games he does, like to Will Patton. He finds that Will Patton's actually, he's actually gay. But he makes us think that Will Patton's actually sleeping with John Travolta's wife. And John Travolta finds out, so he actually takes them both out. I like that kind of mind game. You know, he's like really fucking with them. But I guess people are like, well, he's more like he's gonna kick in and shoot people. I understand that. Again, I would have liked more action. The fire hydrant, more action, and that scene where basically he moves into this place, and you have these three neighbors. One of them is Rebecca Romaine Stamos. The other is Ben Foster, who you've seen in a bunch of flicks now. Ben Foster. He was in Pandorum. He starred in Pandorum. He was the crazy guy in Hostage. Ben Foster, you've seen a lot of stuff now. And then another guy, which I didn't mind them. I didn't mind Rebecca Romaine Stamos. I didn't mind them. I thought they did fine. But he has to fight with the big Russian. Awesome fight. Shitty fucking song they use. But da 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 dee do ba da 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 da. Why the fuck do you have that song playing? It's an awesome. The fight is so cool, it defeats that shitty song. It did not need that shitty-ass song. I mean, I've grown to learn with it, because I really like the fight, so I've grown to learn with it, so it doesn't bother me as much as I first saw it. But if I had my thoughts, my druthers, I would put a different song or a different fucking piece of music. And what I mean by it's a badass fight because the Russian's fucking up. He gets a gun, he just smashes the shell and bends his gun. He stabs the Russian and he's like, he's trying to kick you. He's getting thrown through walls. Really brutal fucking fight. Throws a grenade and the guy just whips it and it's actually Kevin Nash, who was Super Shredder in Ninja Turtles 2, but also, of course, a wrestler. But he whips the grenade, and then Thomas Jane has to duck into the bathtub. He gets the shit kicked out of him. Just a really awesome fight. But just, you don't need that music. I mean, I've learned to live with it, but... So the fire hydrant, the music, and more action. But I think John Travolta does fine as a villain. I think he's a capable actor. Doesn't need to be in Expendables and shit. He doesn't deserve it. Expendables sequel. There's a lot more people deserve it, like Oliver Gruner, or Olivier Gruner, Mark Dacascos, Jeff Speakman, but that's just me. But John Travolta does fine as a bad guy. Thomas Jane is excellent. I love the score. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Carlos Cilioto, he did an awesome job with the score. I love the way it opens, where you have gunshots, like this white sort of paint falls in. Just, the director did a lot of things right. With the limited resources he had, he established it well, where they killed everybody. And Thomas Jane, oh, he tries. What about fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? But everybody loves those movies. He cries like a bitch in Heat. Thomas Jane, like, has like, what, one tear? He cries the right way. Like, he's not like, I'm supposed to be Spider-Man, but I'm Spider-Bitch. 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 Lives up on top of the bitch. Fucks it. But Thomas Jane did an excellent job as the Punisher. Yes, it doesn't have tons of action. When it works, it works. The fight, physical, and the choreography is really well done. Where he has the guitar, the guy who plays guitar, and that bursts in with the car chase, and Punisher has that weapon that cut with a knife. Shouldn't bring a gun. You shouldn't bring a knife to a gunfight. But he pulls it and boom, right into the guy's throat. The paper cutter right in between the guy's head. Boom, splitting his head. The ending, awesome ending, where he gears up and he has a machine gun. Like, he puts the grenade in the bucket, and the way the dum dum ba da ba ba dum dum ba da ba ba, like this, the machine gun, the and just the handgun, the way the camera moves, it's not MTV editing and cutting, it's fluid. Ba ba. He's brutal. Like the awesome scene where he gets a knife, boom, right underneath the guy's chin, and you see the knife right here. I'm like, oh yeah, that's badass. And then he makes that one kid, the other son, John Travolta, this is this much weight. Better not drop it, He doesn't say that, but, you get the idea. And then he has that stand with John Travolta. It doesn't just kill him. Shoots him in the stomach, ties his ass to a car, drives, blows up all the cars. Well, he blows up all the cars and ties John Travolta and has him roll, and then he blows up the cars and he catches on fire. So he's dying slowly, and then he gets burned while being dragged in the car as everything else is blowing up. Although, Greg, you didn't need the wide shot with, oh, it formed a fucking Punisher skull as the... Because I'm like, yeah, I think you just seen that too much with the Crow and Daredevil. When did Daredevil come out? Because they did with Daredevil. Yeah, it came out before the Punisher. I mean, they did with Daredevil, where you see his logo and the fire and the crow before that. Didn't he say that with the Punisher? Like, did he specifically map out? Okay, I'm gonna blow this car, this car, this car, this car. I'm like, dude, they killed your family. Don't worry about, oh, I'm gonna blow up, and the only people gonna see this is the news choppers. You don't need that. So that you didn't need. Didn't need the fire hydrant bullshit. Um, you didn't need the stupid music, opera music, and you didn't need. You needed more action. But this film succeeds on a lot of levels. I think it tells a dramatic story very well. Thomas Jane, um, more of a Western type of thing, like a modern Western type of story. Thomas Jane sold it very well. The establishment, how the Punisher is born, I think is very well done. You get a lot of drama, a lot of emotion, but well done, not bullshit emotion. When the action scenes do kick in, they're very solid, beautiful score, and I enjoy the film. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite Marvel films. Out of all the Marvel films that have come out today, like, when I mean today, I mean like since, let's say since Blade, which is 98. From 1998 to now, which is 10, about 13 years. This is my favorite comic book movie in the past 13 years. It is. I love the Punisher character. He's, no superpowers, no nothing like that. Punisher Warzone I don't like because I don't like Ray Stevenson as an actor. Oh, you don't need an actor. When you see Thomas Jane, he acted his ass off. I don't care what anybody says. That's my opinion. Ray Stevenson, he looks too fucking fat in his fucking shit. He looks like a fat-ass Steven Seagal wannabe. I don't care. Oh, the Punisher looks like that. I don't care. He looks fat, like a fat ass. Like he can barely fucking move. He can't fight for shit. The stupid colors straight out of fucking Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. The gore, yeah, there was gore, but it got ridiculous to the point where he shoots a fucking bazooka at someone and they explode. There's nothing coming out of it except smoke. Maybe you can barely glimpse a leg flying out. It was laughable. And I'm like a cartoon. That's what Punisher Warzone is. It's a cartoon. Dolph Lundgren's Punisher has more balls to it than Warzone. Yeah, it has some good gore. But it's like a cartoon with a shitty lead that I don't give a fuck about the lead. The score sucks. The villain sucks. John Travolta, at least he does a sensible job. Jigsaw is a fucking joke. I mean, he stands in front of a fucking American flag giving us his speech. Jigsaw is like a sadistic motherfucker. Like John Ryder in The Hitcher. He's not... fuck that movie. The movie pisses me off because Thomas Jane wanted to do the sequel, as did the director. But they kept fucking with them because they didn't want to give him a bigger budget. They kept fucking with them on the script. And I think there was a time where... probably Thomas Jane, because he talks about how much he wanted to work with this director, Walter Hill. But Lionsgate said, no, we don't want Walter Hill to direct this. Okay, you don't want the guy who directed 48 Hours, and you don't want the guy who directed The Warriors and Southern Comfort to direct this? Okay. No, we're going to get this girl who hasn't really done anything before, and the movie's not going to make any money because... it looked like I love the trailer with that song, Days of Revenge. But you watch that trailer, you saw the movie. This at least has some drama, has a good emotional arc to it. Yes, I said it. Thomas Jane did a good job acting-wise, and you bought him in the physicality. It didn't look like a fucking Batman Forever color schemes. The gore fit well, but it wasn't a fucking cartoon with the CGI blood flying everywhere, even up your nose. The villain, I like John Travolta. Thomas Jane did an excellent job. The action when it's there was solid. beautiful score, and good dramatic story. Now, I know another friend, Effrey, wanted me to talk about, I mentioned I was going to talk about this movie. He's like, oh man, you got to talk about the director's cut. Because he had sent me this, the extended cut. And this extended cut is pretty bad. Because the only thing about this that's really extended, it's a 4-minute opening where it's done very shitty, not even animation, it's like still frames of him here, then him here, then him here. It's like that sort of still animation shit. It just reminds me of the very cheap stuff on like Adult Swim. Like sometimes they do shows like that. If you can't animate it, like they did that Jonah Hex that was animated with Thomas Jane voicing, then don't do it at all. Fuck. I just thought, why do you do an animated movie with Thomas Jane as the voice? He did the voice as the Punisher in the video game. I don't know why. I really don't. But all that's really new about this is a subplot involving Frank Castle's buddy who, I mean, the opening still animation is basically Frank Castle in Kuwait. This asshole doesn't listen to him. Thomas Jane has to save the bus, killing some. He's about the guy who didn't listen is about to kill these prisoners. And Thomas Jane's Frank Castle's like, you can't do that. That's murder. Guy doesn't want to listen. It's like, you can't do that. That's murder. So the guy heeds, but then the terrorist grabs a grenade, blows themselves and the third guy up. And Thomas Jane realizes that, you know, he inadvertently got someone killed. And I'm like, you didn't need that. It was stupid. Boring. And the subplot is basically his buddy and the FBI who turned him in to John Travolta, who gave him up. And then you have scenes of John Travolta talking to his buddy. And ultimately trying to get his buddy to kill himself. Like, you gave me up, you got my family killed, you know, here's a bullet, you know what you need to do. Totally pointless. Slows the movie down. There's no new action, no new nothing except a subplot that was incredibly boring. Boring. Useless. So bottom line, just stick with this theatrical cut, because this actually has features. That has no features. It has, like I said, the little, not even animated opening, still picture opening, and like 9 minutes on making the extended cut. At least here, you get a commentary track, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 featurettes on the film, music video for the song Step Up, sneak peek trailer at the Punisher video game, a look at the stunts. I mean, you got like a couple features at least in this. And it's a better version because it moves at a better pace. But I like the fact it was rated R, they kept it R. Good job on the acting, directing. When the action's there, it works. And again, the story, it told the story well. Meaning, it gave your hero certain little pathos, certain little bit of dramatic pathos. So when Thomas Jane's Punisher is drinking and getting drunk and looking at his photograph of his family, you feel more because you know what happened. And it wasn't cheesy, in my opinion, at all. Just don't have the fucking fire hydrant. Don't have the fucking opera music. And don't have the fucking Punisher flame from the helicopter point of view. But does a lot of things right. And I will go on record. 98, 2008, 10. Fuck it. Let's say well, 91. 91 to... Let's say the past 20 years, this is the best comic book film I've seen. Because that's 1991. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out in 1990. So, I love Ninja Turtles. And then The Punisher came out in 89 with Dolph Lundgren. So from 1991 to 2011, Yep, past 20 years, this is the best comic book film I've seen. This would be my favorite. I love it. Fucked a little better than Spider-Man. I like Daredevil a lot, but I like this film better. I love it a lot better than any of the stuff that came out this year. Any of the X-Men films. I'm a big fan of The Punisher. I think they did a good job in this. It's just they gave it a low budget of $15 million when they gave Elektra more than double that. Why? Stupid. Stupid. Fucking stupid. Anyway, love The Punisher 2004 version. Thomas Jane did a great job. I would love for Thomas Jane to be the Punisher once again, but they won't do that because they'll make some shitty-ass TV show, which Punisher does not work on TV. And if they do a movie, they'll just cast some other jerk off. Or Ray Stevenson, who did such a shitty job last time, in my opinion. He had nothing. He was like a piece of wood. Didn't draw me in. He looked like a fat ass. But anyway, love The Punisher from 2004. Enjoy it very much. So thanks for watching this long review, and take care. Later.